bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Wednesday evening. Welcome into the high school fan zone, the Lubbock High Westerner fan zones where we start first. I'm Chois Woodman, filling in for Randy Rosetta tonight. Brennan Riker across the way, and we're going to start with the Lubbock High Westerners, starting with some season recap for basketball, as we've got Coach Arzaga here in the First United Bank studio, and Coach Perez, I believe, is joining us via the Visual Edge IT hotline. So we'll tag team it tonight, guys. And Coach Arzaga, we'll start with you first here in the studio. Appreciate you coming in. Year one in the books for you. Not all roses, but it's a first year experience. And you and I were talking before you came on. You're playing in a high level of basketball. West Texas girls basketball at the 5A level is about as stout as it gets. So appreciate you coming in with us. But how was that first year for you?
Well, again, thanks for having me in. And no, this first year, it's just coming in, having 7 seniors on the roster to start off the season. They don't know who I am, and trying to build that up from June, it's not easy. But
right.
Again, like you said, it's not all butterflies and great things happening every single night, especially playing against those really good teams. But I do feel like we did grow as a program, especially with the younger girls playing. We ended up moving up a sophomore towards that back half of district. But just seeing our JV and seeing our freshmen develop and get better. And I was talking to a couple of parents and even our coaching staff. You ask us that our freshman team is going to score 33 points against Plainview's freshman team, and you might look at us that we're crazy. And so them being able to do that and our JV continue to play, we had a really low number there. A lot of girls were hurt or they were sick or just not feeling well or whatnot, but they continue to compete and continue to get better and playing really close games. And so it just gets you excited for the spring, gets you excited for the summer, and obviously for next year.
Yeah, and I know anytime we're talking about year one, this is that you always can look back to that first team with affection, and because that's the building blocks team. That's the one that sets the foundation for what you're trying to do in the future. And I'm sure that obviously you want to try to win more games, but I'm sure that's something that team, for any future success you have, will be able to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and the last game, our senior night game, kind of the way I'd put the lineups in, I was kind of playing the seniors for a good amount of time, and then I'd bring that younger group, and that younger group just kept playing and playing hard. Kind of went back and looked at the scores and things like that. I think we were down by 10 against Coach Alfaro. Kind of did the same thing there with his younger group as well, trying to flip-flop with seniors and younger kids. And, we were down 10, but I think we kept the score down, and we were being very competitive.
And we have Coach Perez on the Visual Edge IT hotline. Coach Perez, appreciate you giving us some of your time and putting a bow on this Lubbock High season this year. We'll just kind of give you the floor to let you talk about how you felt this year went with your bunch.
I think my first year went well. The main thing for us was teaching these kids how to compete at a high level, every aspect of the game, from start to finish, and then coming in and installing a culture that hasn't been there. So it was a difficult task. I felt once we got into district, we started seeing progress on that end, and then like Coach A, we competed in a lot of our district games. I felt the third quarter was our biggest downfall each game. We're 4 or 5 possessions within reach every game at halftime, and then third quarter we just went kind of just, I don't know what it was, just mentally blocked or something, and we just kind of let games get away from us. But for the most part, it's a learning process. Kids played well. Kids competed. They did everything we asked them to. We ended up winning 3 games in district, which ties what they've accomplished, in 6 years combined. So, we have something to kind of build off of.
And Coach Perez, a lot of times when we talk about rebuilds and starting over with a new coach, it's not an easy process because we think of, okay, just the varsity, but as Coach Arzaga is talking about, you got the JV, but also, it trickles all the way down to the middle school levels that you've got to work on that culture that you're instilling.
Absolutely. And this year, I kind of set, parameters as far as with our middle school coaches. I didn't get down there as much as I thought I would, just because our periods kind of clash. And once you get into season, you're kind of busy with all 3 groups going. But, that's one of the things I've talked to the middle school coaches as I went and watched their end of season tournament, just, getting together over the next couple of weeks and kind of coming up with a game plan of what spring and summer is going to look like. How can we develop these guys, and then how can we implement our stuff at that middle school level? That way they kind of know the expectations and kind of have, a foundation once they move up, and get to Lubbock High.
Visiting with both Lubbock High basketball coaches. Back to you, Coach Arzaga. This is year one, as you mentioned, year one for both of you guys. But what do you feel like you learned from your players? They learned plenty from you, but what do you feel like you learned from your players in year one?
Again, moving on for the future, those kids do want to compete.
Yeah,
those kids are tired of saying, "Oh, it's just Lubbock High."
Right.
And again, it trickles down, like Coach Perez said, to the middle schools and trying to change that mentality down there. And props to our middle school coaches and trying to compete every single time. And our Cavazos 8th grade girls ended up getting 3rd in that city tournament. So
sure.
With having a lot of adversity going on with them and having a new coach as well from 7th grade, but I think they've learned to how to compete and get after it every single day.
We'll continue this with our Lubbock High coaches in the Westerner Fan Zone coming up, and we'll talk about some new districts that these coaches will be in next year. It is the High School Fan Zone here on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Lubbock High athletics. You're listening to the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
We're back here in the High School Fan Zone, the Lubbock High Westerner Fan Zone, here on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman along with Coach Arzaga and Coach Perez. The basketball coaches putting a bow on the season this evening. And Coach Perez joining us via the Visual Edge IT hotline. Coach, your first year at Lubbock High, Coach Perez, and you're a Lubbock High graduate, right? So this got to be pretty cool coming back for you.
Yeah, it was it was a great opportunity to come back home. I graduated and played there, graduated 2001. And, whenever I took the job, that was one of the, the reasons that, it was, an opportunity I wanted to take. Just, I was able to coach my son in high school.
Sure.
Now to be able to go back to where I played and kind of build that program up, to where I feel I can take it, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Coach, your son's at Wayland now, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, he's at Wayland. That's why I'm out here in Oklahoma City, his first conference tournament, so here I am supporting.
Awesome. So it doesn't get any easier. We're turning the page from this season and already looking towards next year because we got conference realignment that came out for the new districts in recent weeks, and the basketball district is about as stacked as it gets in this area for 5A on the girls or the boys side. Amarillo High, Caprock, Paladero, Tascosa, Friendship Memorial, Friendship High, Lubbock High, Lubbock Cooper, Coronado, and Monterey, all in one district. There's going to be some playoff-worthy teams Coach Arzaga, that are probably sitting at home at the end?
Oh, Coach Perez and I have talked about it since the realignment came out, and I mean, just the other day we talked about how I think there's going to be a team that finished 6th and probably could go 2-3 rounds deep if they were in another district.
Yeah, it's crazy how deep that is, and you've got some legitimate basketball powers in that district, for sure on the girls' side, but the boys' side as well, Coach Perez. That's as a competitor, I'm sure that can make you nervous when you look at it, but can also get your blood going as a competitor, I would think.
Nah, I absolutely love competing, against a lot of these coaches that I see in our district. Now we're going to add, Coach CJ over at Memorial and Coach Page, which are two guys that I look up to and, can call at any time to kind of get some advice. It's funny because, like, a lot of the guys that are in our district, like, those were the guys that I would call when I was at Estacado or early on in the summer when I took the job, just to see, their ideas, how they do stuff, and to compete against them on a nightly basis. I mean, it brings the best out of me.
Yeah, there's obviously a ton of great coaches in West Texas and in the Lubbock area in particular. But that's looking towards next year. As we wrap up this year, Coach Arzaga, who are some of those players that will really be you'll be leaning on for next year as you look towards the next season?
Obviously the returners that played this year, sure. They're going to have to play different roles too. Yeah. But really, the reason I kept a lot of those sophomores on JVs, they're playing together. And so just being able to get that chemistry together and understand where you need to be defensively and offensively. And then we just kind of mold that together with those two different groups, those that played minutes on varsity and those that played on JV. And one player that stands out to me that we actually moved her up that second round of district is Aubrey Wynn. She's over there running for Coach Sparks in track and the 4x4 and all the relays and high jumping, and she's going to be really athletic and be someone that's going to disrupt other teams defensively, and then just offensively I think it's going to be we're going to have to create, and the way we're going to do that is by guarding people 94 feet and just be really disruptive to turn it into our offense.
Well, coaches, we've run out of time. Coach Perez, I appreciate you joining us from the road. Tell Tim good luck, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you in the future.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. That's Coach Tim Perez, Jose Perez, as he joins us on the Visual Edge IT hotline. Coach Arzaga, we really appreciate you.
Thank you guys
coming
for
in,
having us.
And we'll look forward to seeing how this builds in the future.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys again for having us.
You bet. It's Coach Arzaga. It's been the Lubbock High Westerner Fan Zone. We'll turn the page to the Coronado Mustangs and visit with football coach Andrew Roy. Coming up next on 100.7 The Score.